Welcome back, everybody. IGN Live from Gamescom, brought to you by Homefront The Revolution. I'm Damon Hatfield. I'm joined by Scott Phillips, who is game director on Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yes.
And I believe at the show here, you're showing off some Evie gameplay. Is that right?
Yes, we have a great Evie mission that we're showing here that takes place in the iconic Tower of London. And this is going to be the worldwide exclusive for this demo, this walkthrough of a black box mission.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
So Evie is twin sister to Jacob. Is that the other main protagonist's name?
Yes.
All right, so set this up for us.
Okay, so Tower of London, Evie is there to search for information about a piece of Eden. So Evie's story is focused around finding out the secret underbelly of the Templar Assassin War. She's focused on the conspiracies and finding this piece of Eden, which is known throughout the Assassin's Creed franchise, is very important to her story.
So how does it work? Does Jacob has his story and Evie has her own story?
They both intertwine. Evie has her focus on that secret underbelly. Jacob is focused primarily on taking over the city of London, but both can get engaged in taking over the city. They also have a whole set of open world missions that either one of them can play, and then you can switch between them in the open world independently of whichever one you feel like playing as. So Evie is going to approach this black box here. The black box missions are sort of the central focus for Assassin's Creed Syndicate, in that we want to present you with a target and then you figure out your way to get there.
She is she designed to be a little bit more stealthy than Jacob?
Yeah, her focus is on stealth, is on a measured approach, figuring out, using her eagle vision to look for the best way to approach her enemies and then silently taking them out. Whereas Jacob is the more violent, shoot first, ask questions later sort of character. So she's going to go to this vantage point here, which will set up what's available in this black box. Specifically, she'll have agents which she can interact with and gain certain benefits. But she can also choose to approach this in any way possible. So Lucy Thorne is a powerful Templar. She's going to be someone you're looking to assassinate in this mission. Here you're seeing different opportunities that Evie can tell from this vantage point, things that you can go out into the mission, and if you want to infiltrate or if you want to use stealth, you can go and check out this approach, and there's multiple approaches.
And will it mark these places on your map?
Yes, we'll see when we come back into gameplay, there'll be markers for them. But again, the whole idea is, you can see them on the minimap there and in the world, but the player can also choose to just ignore them and go figure out their own way. There's secret entrances, there's other ways to get in besides these agents.
So some of her stealth abilities, is it called Chameleon? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think she'll be using Chameleon here. She's taking out, moving through one of the opportunities, which is working with this character to infiltrate. And this is just one of the opportunities, but we're going to show several of the other ones. Chameleon is Evie's ability to hide in plain sight. So you'll see her become almost invisible, and that means that no one nearby can see her. She's that good at blending with her environment that she'll just disappear.
But does she need to remain still?
Yes, as soon as you move, you get detected again. But it's a great new thing to add to stealth that really mixes up how you can play. And it's a late game skill, so it's not, you don't get it immediately and then you're just completely overpowered. You work your way up to it.
It seems like the zip line makes you even more agile than you have been in the past.
Yeah, it's a great addition to the parkour, which Assassin's Creed is known for. The zip line allows you to get to these very tall buildings of 1868 Industrial Revolution London. You have to use something to get up there quickly. What we found early on was that climbing a 6-story building, even with the parkour being fun, can get long. So we wanted the zip line and the rope launcher to really get you around the environment quickly. And we found that players use them, they move between the two interchangeably, so they complement each other very well.
So that was her Chameleon ability that we saw.
Yeah, when she stopped completely. And so now she's going to go do the Ally, which there's Templars that are infiltrating the Royal Guard. And she's going to go take a look and work with this ally this is identifying him, figuring out the benefits. One of the major improvements we've made to black boxes was to make sure that the player could comprehend what was going on, what their opportunities were, so that they could make intelligent choices. So we're going to go speak to this ally, and then he'll tell us that there are certain guards that have been infiltrated by the Templars, and we need to take those out before he'll come over and help us. And he'll help us infiltrate into the Tower of London, which is protected by the Templars.
So out in the open world, you can take on missions as either Jacob or Evie. Then they have their own black box story missions. And then how is that split up? Is it pretty even for both of them, or do you play as one more than the other?
Yeah, well, it's really up to the player and what they choose. Because you can play as either one in the open world, and there are a bulk of missions that either one can play, it's not as if there's a specific number we could give, because that's just not accurate. You can make it as much or as little as you want.
But so if I prefer Evie, will I end up playing the game as Evie most of the time?
If that's your choice, absolutely, yeah. So the zip line is great here to get around the Tower of London very quickly. And then you can also move into parkour very seamlessly. So it's a very fluid motion that fits in with the parkour. We're going to go assassinate a couple of these guards. One of the things you saw earlier was the Voltaic Bomb. This is a new weapon for Assassin's Creed Syndicate. It'll take out enemies nearby you, zap them, and it'll spread to other enemies, sort of like electricity would, as you expect. So Eagle Vision has been a big focus for me, making sure that the player can use it as a planning tool and can see enemies in the environment. You can tag them as soon as you look at them, and you'll be able to see them through walls, which allows you to do a lot of planning and plan out your stealth opportunities and really make all your efforts worthwhile, which is Evie's focus.
And the ring around her will indicate the sound that she's making?
That's actually called the threat ring.
Okay.
That shows where nearby enemies are. It'll show you pre-detection, like if they're about to see you, it gives you a hint. And it's sort of a visualization of that assassin sense of like they know what's around them, what the environment is showing. So it's showing that there are two enemies that did see you, but they've lost you now. And as you it's a great tool to use in combination with stealth, which we've overhauled from Assassin's Creed Unity. We've made sure that stealth is, there's no button press. You're in and out, it's fluid. You can move from one cover to another cover just by pushing the stick, and it's I think, one of the biggest improvements we have.
She's also really good with throwing knives, is that right?
Yes, she has another one of her custom skills that's specific to Evie is called Knife Master. Her skills are, again, focused on stealth, and those knives are a stealth tool, so you can take out enemies silently. That Knife Master skill allows her to carry more knives that do more damage and stun enemies for longer. So the knives are an extremely effective tool, and combined with being able to pick them up off of dead bodies makes it a really extremely effective stealth tool. It's also a good distraction tool. If you just throw it near an enemy, you can draw them to you. And another thing we brought back for stealth is the whistle. So you can whistle at any time. You're not limited to just certain locations. So it's a great tool to draw enemies towards you and create your own opportunities. What Evie's about to do here is called the false arrest. So she's going to have this guard grab her and act as if he captured her, sort of the Chewie moment of our infiltration. And this is similar to a mechanic we have that's available in the rest of the game for Evie and Jacob, where they can kidnap enemies and they'll blend in. They won't be detected by nearby enemies. As long as that circle doesn't touch any enemies, they won't think anything is wrong because the situation looks normal to them.
Can Evie and Jacob do that themselves, or do you need to find an allied guard or police officer to do that?
You can grab a police officer, you can grab an enemy. So if you go into a gang stronghold and you grab an enemy, you can sneak right past everybody, assassinate him, and then stealthily assassinate everyone else. So it's a very powerful tool when used. So the guard has alerted the Templars, so they've opened the door, which allows you to get inside now. But the player will need to be very careful here with the false arrest in order to make sure that the Templars don't detect her.
All right, so they're going to want to
make their way upstairs.
take us to a secure location.
Well, they're going to make their way upstairs. This is giving the player access to the unique kill opportunity in this black box. So they're sneaking in. So Lucy's going to let her guard down, and they're going to be able to get close in and kill her in a spectacular way. And again, this is an iconic location for London. Setting that 1868 Industrial Revolution was really, really important to us. So the world is a great recreation of that era, of that time, and of the important things going on. And big landmarks like Big Ben and Parliament are all there for the player to explore.
All right, so this is our big moment.
Yes, this is our kill.
Sorry, Lucy. Yeah, I imagine you've tried to make use of all these iconic landmarks of the time.
Yes. I think the only thing we didn't create that's still around in London today from that era is the Tower Bridge, because it wasn't built until after our time period.
I see. I know you haven't shown anything of it yet, but I believe you have confirmed there is still a modern day component to the game, isn't that right?
There is definitely a present day component. Present day is very important to us. We're not talking about it too much yet,
Sure.
but yeah, we're as a fan personally of the franchise, I'm glad to see present day making a comeback.
Is this starting a new phase of the Assassin's Creed story? I guess I think I was reading that you thought of it as a certain phase ended with Assassin's Creed 3, and then 4 and Unity were sort of a transition into a new phase. Is that correct?
It's something like that.
Of the overall like Assassin's Creed story
It is,
arc.
but because present day is pretty complex, we're going
Yeah.
to get into it in the future, so I don't want to spend too
All
much
right.
time on it today.
All right, I mean, you're tantalizing us here. Well, I guess we'll find out a little bit. Assassin's Creed Syndicate is out on October
23rd.
23rd, so we'll learn more then. So, Scott, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Much more to come from IGN Live here at Gamescom right after this.